Hi, everybody. As you're coming in, we're just going to wait a minute. We already have 110 attendees, which is awesome. Okay, I think you're good to go, Jenny.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming. My name is Jenny Bright, and I'm coordinating the programs this year for the PTSA, my second year. Tonight, we are presenting the 2021 All Things SPHS. This is an annual event from the PTSA to catch everyone up on what is happening this year at South Pasadena High School. So after everyone on the panel has spoken, we will go to questions with Kristen.
Thank you. If you look at the bottom of your screen, there's a thing that says Q&A, and if you go in there, you can ask questions and they'll come to me. And if I can answer them, I'll answer them. And if not, I will ask them to the panelists at the end of the meeting.
Okay. So with that, we will get started with Chris Holmes, the PTSA president. Those who are in the general meeting have already met her and heard from her, but in case you are new, we're going to go ahead and speak with her again. She's going to share a few words about what the PTSA does and lines of communications that they provide so that you can stay on top of things this year. Chris?
That's exactly right. Thank you so much, Jenny. Good evening, everyone. As Jenny said, my name is Christina Holmes. I am the PTSA president this year. I'd like to welcome you to the first PTSA forum. Jenny Bright has done a fantastic job bringing a great lineup for you. And this is just one way that PTSA is here for you. We promote communication and interaction within our school community. And we aim to serve as a resource for parents and teachers and students. So this forum is one great way that we do that. Parent and family involvement in a student's education is extremely important to student success. So by becoming a member of SPHS PTSA, you support all students. And in addition to being a member, you have the option to volunteer or donate to the general fund or to Wish Night, which gives directly to teachers. At the general meetings, we always go over all of this and report out, and that's your chance to hear what the PTSA is doing, particularly with the funds that that you donate, and we greatly appreciate any donations. So won't you please join us? And with that, I'd like to introduce Tisa and Dawn to show you the website and all about the different ways that you can join us and participate. Thank you.
Hi, this is Tisa. I am managing the website this year. It's my second year, and I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour. So after 10 years, we've given our website a major overhaul, and we're trying to make it more compatible with today's lifestyle. So we've made it more cell phone friendly, more tablet friendly, and I'm working on making it more very large monitor friendly. But most important, we're trying to make it as a go-to reference for you, a resource for you. I know we all get tons of emails and tons of texts, and it's hard to remember where to keep them or where they went. And so we're trying to make this as a landing page for any information you might need. So just a quick tour. Here's our homepage. You can join, you can donate, volunteer just at the top. We have our latest posts visible. And if you want more than 3, you can page through them, or you can click and go to the news page. And also at the bottom, we have 8 very simple places that you can just click to get to how you can be involved with the PTSA. And we also have all our contact information. This is a new website, so if you see things that you want us to change or improve, please just email website at sphsptsa.net, and we will try to accommodate that. Let's keep going. One of the pages, I'll just take you through a few, is meeting dates. So we have them all here, and if you can't make any of these meeting dates or with the wonderful forums that Jenny puts on, we do actually, when we have them recorded, we've got a web page called Forums, and you can actually watch them here. So, and also Jenny posts them to our YouTube page. And we also have a newsletter, which Don will talk, I think, a little bit about, but you can sign up here. And also I include the latest newsletter in the webpage. So if you want to see the latest one, it's there. And if you want to see the archive, you can click there to see all of our newsletters. And then you can sign up here at the bottom. We also have this page, which we're very happy with, the community page. We've tried to put all the links that we think you as a parent might be really interested in going to in one place. So we've got the school website, we have the Tiger Bulletin, which somebody's probably going to talk about later, but this is the information your students get every day about what's going on at the school. Tiger Boosters, music boosters, school district, the newspaper, which is great, wellness center, various other organizations. And then also we've added at the bottom the COVID test registration, the COVID-19 dashboard, and Parent Square, where you can get your messages from the school and school district. We also have a list of useful Instagram accounts. We also, at the top here, we have various pages. For students, we have a page where we can tell you about our mini grants, and you can click all these to get more information. Reflections we talked about earlier today, senior awards, grad night. And here's just an example. So for reflections, we have information on it, and you can click and you get information on dates, how to apply, all that type of thing. So we'll also have one for teachers, how you can join. The Wish Night program, we have information on how you can actually request for Wish Night and then submit for reimbursement, information on teacher and staff appreciation. And then this page is very useful for me. It's the calendars page, and we put down all the PTSA events here and also the SPUSC board meetings. And not only do we put them here, if you click on it, it'll give you information. So for instance, on the board meetings, if you want, there's information on how to ask for something to be read at the meeting. Click it in there, or the Zoom links we'll try to put in there when we have them in advance. And you can also subscribe to this calendar if you want. You just click on the Google Calendar. And if you don't use Google Calendar, we have a link for you to do that, and you can contact us if you have any difficulties with that. We also have a quick link here for the school calendar, which is usually the most up-to-date. It helps with the odd evens and when the school events are happening. And then last, we have the Join Donate page. We've mentioned before, but this year is the second year that we are collaborating with other organizations at the school so that parents have a one-stop shop to do most of their donating and joining. So there it is.
Great, thank you. Do we have Dawn also?
Yes, I'm here. So I'm Dawn Mensch. I handle the other side of communications, which is our email newsletter, which comes out every Monday. And sometimes we also send it during the week if there's breaking news. And I also handle our Facebook and our Instagram accounts. Anyone who becomes a PTSA member or anyone who opts in for communications from the PTSA when they do the data confirmation, they do get subscribed automatically to our email newsletter. However, that does take time. So if you're brand new families to our school, you may not be getting it. One came out today. If you aren't getting it, click on this Google Doc that I just included in the chat, and that has links that I'm going to discuss, links to how to subscribe to our website, links to our Facebook page and our Instagram. Even if you are a returning family who was getting the newsletter, if you haven't noticed it recently, check your spam folder. I've heard from some people that it's going into their spam, possibly because I have a new email address that it started going out from when school started. So please check that and make our email a safe sender so that you receive it. Our Facebook and our Instagram are updated almost daily. So you can find us, all kinds of ways. We share not only PTSA events, but also community events that pertain to, teenagers, and also what student groups and student clubs are doing. We're going to work more closely with them this year to share more from them. So please just save this Google Doc that I shared, because as the night goes on and other people mention important links, we're going to add them. So you're going to have this one Google Doc that has many links that were mentioned tonight. And you can email me too. If you still aren't sure about the newsletter, just send me an email. It's on that document.
Great. Thank you so much, Tisa and Dawn. And now I'll just turn it back over to you, Jenny, and let's get this rest of the panel going. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Chris. So I think we've all experienced difficult adjustments in the past year and a half of this pandemic, but we're also beginning to feel hopeful and looking up as we progress. So it is extra exciting to start this year off with most of our students back on campus. Part of that transformation is our new principal at South Pasadena High School, Mr. John Eldred. Good evening, Mr. Eldred.
How are you? Good evening, everyone.
So we'd like to hear about your background. what did your journey to become a high school principal look like?
Okay, so I got out of college a really long time ago in 1993 and started teaching at the high school level. I was at Glendale High School for 20 years as a high school teacher. I taught social studies, history, a little bit of government, some econ, and I also taught English as well, 10th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, actually. So I was there for 20 years. And loved working with those kids, but was super interested in leadership. And a lot of the positions I held at Glendale High School were as a teacher leader. I was a department chair for 10 years in a row. I spent a lot of time on different faculty organizations and boards to help kind of lead and govern the school. And that led me to becoming an assistant principal. And I spent the last 7 years as an assistant principal at Crescenta Valley High School. So I've kind of worked at both ends of the community in Glendale, which was great. I get to experience, kids and cultures and communities on both sides of Glendale. And after 28 years of working in that district, I had kind of hit the point where especially as I kind of got older, I was more interested in sort of reducing my footprint, if you will, and working in a district that was smaller, a district where I have the opportunity to really have more of a hands-on style of leadership, to get to know kids on a deeper level. And a staff as well. And you really can only do that in a smaller district like South Pasadena. So when the position opened up, like a lot of people with the same intentions as myself, I jumped at it. And I was lucky enough to be chosen, and I'm humbled by the Board of Education and the community choosing me for this spot. I have a community that kind of reflects a lot of my own values, sort of small town, sort of community where everyone is invested in the schools, where the buy-in is deep, not just from parents, but from students and the community at large. So it really sort of fits the look I've been going for the last couple of years. And I finally found myself really a home where I can begin to sort of practice the type of leadership and working with kids and teachers the way I've been wanting to.
What opportunities have you had to speak with the students so far?
Well, I don't know if anybody that is watching tonight has had their student meet me yet, but I spend pretty much every day at snack and lunch outside as much as I possibly can. I think I've missed one lunch so far. Because it gets a little busy in the principal's office. But I like to just walk up to kids and ask them, how's the food? How's classes? How was the weekend? And kids are very responsive, actually, I've found. They're friendly, they're open. They are super mature in a lot of ways that I'm not used to, which is really cool. A lot of them come up and introduce themselves to me. So it's kind of half me and half them, which I really enjoy. But they're very receptive to talking to the new principal. And I've also been in their classrooms as well. I think I've hit just about every classroom except for the top floor of the 900, which seems to elude me somehow, but I keep trying to get up there. But I try and get into classes at least for an hour every day. And it's tough in the beginning of the school year, but I've sort of committed myself to doing this so that students are used to seeing me and knowing that I'm invested in their education and I'm not just ensconced in an office and pushing paperwork. I really, really want to be a part of their educational experience.
So do you have a vision for SPHS?
With a school that is so high achieving where students do so well and where the community is so tightly interwoven into what takes place really on a daily basis at the school, I would say really at this point my vision is to maintain the quality education that students have been receiving long before I got here, and really to uphold the culture and the traditions that already exist, that are already in place. And, you know, as time goes by, if I see things obviously that I feel would, you know, better benefit the students, then, you know, I'll begin the process of working with the staff and having conversations about, you know, what we can do to better serve our kids. So that's kind of where my vision is right now at day 9.
Well, thank you, Mr. Eldred. South Pasadena is excited and very lucky to have you.
Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here. I appreciate it.
So great. Now I would like to introduce Mr. David Speck, Assistant Principal of Student Services at SPHS. David.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Good to not see everyone, but to be able to speak to all of you. It's been great. The three of us administrators have been in the freshman classrooms last week, going to the study halls, talking to them, talking a little bit about our school. So in student services, one of the things that we handle over there is community service. All the students need to do 45 hours community service by the end of their senior year and make sure they get those hours in within a year of the service. So we've had a lot of students dropping by to drop off their forms. We also, in my office, Miss Luna is the assistant there who is the friendly face of student services when students pop in. And she is also the one who puts together the daily bulletin, the Tiger Bulletin. And, you know, it's updated fairly regularly with updates and posts. And teachers are supposed to be sharing that with their students during third and fourth period, introducing them to new things on the links. It's also available on our website for everyone to look at. Also on that bulletin, and the reason I bring it up is there is a section for community service. And when we get great opportunities within our own community for our students to serve, we post those there for them as well. I'm right next to the attendance window. Students, if they need to get a grounds permit, parents, please send them with a note that morning. If they need to leave campus for a dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, makes it really easy. They go up to the window, see Ms. Carlson, and get a grounds permit for the day so they can leave. They can meet you in the parking lot if you're taking them in a vehicle to their appointments. Also, make sure that you get notes to your students if they miss any days of school. Get that to them immediately. Bring it in the next day. They can so that they can get makeup work if they don't get counted, and they also don't get counted as a truancy for a Saturday school. It's just great. I love interacting with students in my office, and I do handle discipline, athletics, and a few other things as well. But I also like to really connect with the kids and help to do some conflict resolution. And I also work really closely with our peer mediators to work with our students and get them to become the best people that they can be in their future. So really enjoy being back with the kids. We're going to be in senior classes this week, and trying to get in and visit as many kids and see them out at brunch and lunch as well. So great getting a chance to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speck. So next, I'll introduce you to our Assistant Principal of Curriculum, Instruction, and Guidance, Miss Janet Wichman.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to welcome everyone to the 21-22 school year. It's real exciting to have everyone back. It's so nice. Like Mr. Eldred and Mr. Speck said, we've been out talking with all the kids. We visited all of the freshman study halls. So we haven't met all your kids, but we've talked to all your kids. They've met us. We told them, find some adults on campus that you feel comfortable with, people that can be your go-to people. So your kids should be out there looking for their go-to person on campus. I wanted to tell you about a couple exciting things this year. First of all, the PSAT, we are offering it this year. It's going to be on Saturday, October 16th, and information should be coming out later this week, if it hasn't already come out, about the signups, and you'll just be signing up online through our ASB store. So that's exciting, because we haven't been able to have that the last couple of years. Also, we have our partnership with PCC, where we have dual enrollment classes. This fall, we're offering 2 classes. We're offering psychology and speech. We have already sent out the information to the students and parents. So we have probably 70 or 75 students that have already signed up. It doesn't start until September 7th, so there's still time to sign up if your child's interested in taking one of those classes. I would like to introduce real quickly Maria Chelko. She's one of our counselors, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the counseling department.
Hi, thank you for having me. I am Maria Chelko. I'm one of 5 counselors here at the high school. Just to let you know, every student is assigned a counselor, and the design is for the counselor to partner with the student and the families all 4 years of high school, and to see a student through for their diploma and to reach their after high school goals. And we do a lot of academic counseling, college and career counseling, and personal and social counseling as well. The best way to for students to contact us is by coming into our offices at brunch and lunch. We have a sign-in process. So we will get to see walk-ins as well as students with appointments, and also by email. And we respond to email within 24 to 48 hours most of the time. We do send out a lot of communication from the counseling department, and we have a lot of activities going on. And typically it'll be through Parent Square, it'll be through Naviance. We do have a really in-depth counselor link on our school website. Every counselor has a Google Classroom in which through which we communicate with each of our students. And we also have a counseling Instagram if you'd like to follow that. It's our handle is at SPHS counseling department, DEPT. I mentioned briefly Naviance. Naviance we've been using for a really long time. It's a web-based college and career tool. And for every grade level, we do have a theme where we go in and provide guidance for that specific theme. And ultimately, we use the program to help seniors get to their colleges. So that's pretty much our counseling department in a nutshell. Feel free to ask questions at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Casey Shotwell is the activity director at the high school. Mr. Shotwell, tell us about what you do.
I was introduced. I'm the activities director, and I think that the best job on campus because I get to work with students on a daily basis with the student activities, extracurricular as co-curricular. You're going to hear from 2 of them this evening. They'll tell you a little bit more about what we do. I'm going to take a moment here, though, to tell you about the leadership class that I have the opportunity to teach. We've been meeting throughout the course of the summer, and I think we're off to a really good year this year. But the structure of the leadership class is, first of all, it has 13 commissioners in it. These are the elected school-wide officers, if you will, and those are somewhat divided up. We have the top 4, if you will, a cabinet of a general, internal affairs, correspondence, and finance, and they're somewhat the cabinet who are concerned with the governance of the school and the student voice. In fact, one of them is the student representative on the school board, the Commissioner of Internal Affairs. We also have 9 other commissioners who are more focused on specific elements of campus of school life, in particular activities, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those later. In addition to those 13 commissioners, we have 4 sets of class officers, a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer for each of the 4 classes, whose primary responsibility is that group, to work with that in the class spirit and to make sure that they have an opportunity to really connect to the school. In addition to that, some years back, we had started adding positions by application, 2 of those being the videographer and a web coordinator. As needs in those areas grew, particularly in assemblies and social media, we felt it best to add in positions with that skill set. And in addition to that, we have a CASC rep. CASC is the California Association of Student Councils. It's an organization I've been involved with for decades, and one that I feel very strongly about. The CASC is about student-run, student-led activities. It really believes in the power of students leading students. In fact, all the curriculum is taught by students. And we just, and the same happens, well, not the same exactly, but we do much the same in our class and with our representative this year. And then a few years back, we saw an emerging need in health and wellness. So with the commissioners that year, we created a new position. It's actually 2 health and wellness officers. And then most recently, we've added this past year, diversity, equity, and inclusivity representative officer as well to address that particular need. But I won't go into the particulars of what we do because our other 2 guests this evening will do that for me.
Thank you, Mr. Shotwell. Yes, we are pleased to have representation tonight from the Associated Student Body. Joining us are two of the student commissioners. We have the Commissioner of Communication, Isabella Alfonso, and the Commissioner of Clubs, Lulu Telesnik. So could you both tell us more about ASB, the role of commissioners in general at SPHS, and what your roles involve?
Yes, awesome. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Lulu Telesnik, and I am this year's Commissioner of Clubs here at SPHS. So something awesome about clubs is they are a really big part of the high school experience, especially at South Pasadena. We offer a huge variety of different clubs, which can actually be found on the school website under the activities tab and then under the school clubs tab. And that is the list for clubs from the 2020 to 2021 school year, which we will definitely be updating this year once we have a finalized list of clubs. So yeah, personally, I have had the pleasure of being in multiple clubs. I am currently the president of the Anti-Bias Club, as well as the secretary of the TEDx Club. And basically what I do as commissioner of clubs is I'm in charge of the clubs here on campus, as well as hosting and running club events like Club Rush and Homecoming Picnic. Actually, last week, I held my first club representatives meeting, which covered a variety of different subjects, including how to start and reinstate clubs, just informing people on the steps they need to take to start or reinstate a club. And those clubs have until August 31st to complete all the paperwork necessary and to be considered eligible to participate in Club Rush. So this year, we have decided that Club Rush will be held on September 9th and 10th at lunch, and that will be in the gym. Also, Club Rush is the perfect opportunity for students to discover which clubs are offered on our campus, as well as to have the opportunity to sign up to be in a particular club. In terms of future projects, I have an idea for a club newsletter called the Club Quarterly, which would come out every quarter of the school year. And it's basically a newsletter designed to highlight club achievements, as well as to be used as a resource for clubs to publicize or advocate for themselves. And it's also a way to spread the club messages to the broader South Pasadena community, like including parents, and for people to stay updated on what clubs are working on throughout the year. So yeah, thank you so much for having me today, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Lulu. Isabella?
Hi, everyone. I'm Isabella Alfonso. I'm the Commissioner of Communications or Correspondence for this year's leadership class. As Mr. Shawwell touched on earlier, the commissioners are the heads of certain departments in our school community. While we all have certain events that we oversee, we all pretty much help out in all areas of the campus. For starters, our first event, registration. We partnered with a handful of volunteers to aid in processing payments, distributing SAC and ID cards, and working with the photography staff from Bronson. We held orientation where we hosted campus tours, icebreakers, and Q&A sessions for the freshmen and sophomores and new students. Since the sophomores still technically hadn't been on campus, we decided that hosting 2 sessions would allow us to formally introduce them to the school. As for our current events, we are putting the final touches on the SAC assembly, which will be this Friday. This year, we will be having a live streamed assembly since it's a safer alternative, while we're still working to maintain the school engagement we want. As for our class officers, which is another huge portion of ASB, they've been super busy. The freshmen are currently planning the icebreaker dance in September. The sophomores sold out their boba fundraiser during registration and held their first ice cream social this past Friday. The juniors also held a boba fundraiser with Tomorrow and are working on finalizing their junior subcommittee. And lastly, our seniors have been working on the icebreaker dance, senior subcommittee, and are planning a Menchie's fundraiser for this Friday. So please look forward to many of our future events. That is all for me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Isabella and Lulu. Very impressive work you guys are doing. So next I'm going to introduce the athletic director, Mr. Anthony Chan. Mr. Chan, tell us what you expect for athletics this year.
Hi, everybody. Pleasure to see everybody again. I guess I can't really see you guys, but welcome to the 2021-2022 school year. Our hope and our goal is to have complete seasons as much as possible, and to just give our student athletes an opportunity to participate and just, be active. Now, as to whether or not that's going to be guaranteed. We're going to try our best, and please know that we're going to do the best we can. At this time, we already have weekly testing with, it's been pretty stable in terms of like we're able to get all the kids out there. We saw about 230 kids out there today testing for the fall sports. So we're going to continue doing our best getting these kids out there and having athletics.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. So now it's time to meet the boosters. They provide a lot of support across the board to SPHS. So I will introduce to you the Tiger Booster President, Mr. Eric Shabat.
Thanks, Jenny. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. Thanks to PTSA for hosting. This is a great event. Just wanted to fill everybody in on boosters, who we are and what we do and how you can get involved. And then also invite you to an event this Saturday that we are putting on. So just quickly, boosters, Tiger Boosters was an organization formed to support clubs and athletic teams. We do this within a nonprofit structure, and this allows us to collect donations for teams and clubs, basically any extracurricular activities that your student may be involved in. We help support in some fashion, and any deductions you make are tax deductible. They can be matched by employer match if you have that opportunity. A lot of our funds raised go towards equipment grants. So scoreboards, durable equipment used by many of the athletic teams, drama recently, some improvements they've made within the auditorium. Some of that money comes through boosters. We support team banquets. We give scholarships to 5 seniors every year. We also support travel grants for teams that go to postseason play or clubs like Virtual Business that may have travel involved. So would welcome you all to join boosters. You can do that through our website at SPHS Boosters or the website Tisa showed earlier, the one-stop fundraising. You have an opportunity to support us there. Couple other notes. We also help run together with the bingo board, the bingo, which is the major fundraiser at the school. Each year, bingo gives nearly $200,000 back to clubs and activities. We are excited to be starting bingo back up again in September. We have been closed for COVID for the past year plus. But related to that, this Saturday, we are hosting a free, for SPHS parents, free bingo in the gym this Saturday at noon, from noon to 3 p.m. If you want to stop by, it includes free lunch. We're going to be playing 10 bingo games. You'll get a chance to experience what it's like. Giving away $100 gift certificates as prizes for each of those 10 games. So many thanks to the Chinese American Club that is sponsoring that. There'll be some entertainment from the Pep Squad, a chance to meet other parents, and a fun free event where you can learn more about bingo. Bingo is entirely volunteer run, but like I said, it is the biggest, far and away the biggest fundraiser for school extracurriculars and athletics. So would really welcome folks this Saturday. And I think John Eldred sent out as well some information about that through Parent Square this week. So please consider joining us. Last thing, Tiger Run, as well as our second largest fundraiser that is coming up in early December. Our goal is to be back in-person Tiger Run this year. Last year was a virtual run. This year we hope to be back in person. So would welcome everybody to please register and support us through Tiger Run as well. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you, Mr. Shabat. So there are also music boosters. I'd like you to meet Charlene Miller and Mary Ron, who will introduce you to what music boosters do.
Hi, thank you. We're so appreciative of you having us here tonight. I'm Charlene Miller, and I'm
Mary.
Hi. We are co-presidents of the Music Boosters this year. The Music Boosters is a parent-run organization that supports the instrumental music department at the high school through fundraising and volunteering.
If you have a child in the music program at SPHS, you're automatically part of the Music Boosters. All music parents are welcome to join us at our monthly meetings, which take place the first business Monday of every month at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So you can find us at sphsmusicboosters.com or through the PTSA hub.
And there are many ways for parents to get involved with the Music Boosters, including volunteering at our band competitions, which will be starting up this fall, Also helping out in the snack stand during varsity home football games. If you are going to the varsity home game this Saturday, come by the snack stand and see us. We will be there. And like Mary said, for more information, you can check our website.
And we hope to see you at our first Zoom meeting of the school year, which will take place on Monday, September 13th at 7 p.m. Thank you. That's all for us.
Great. Thank you so much. So the SPUSD school board plays a critical role in the future of SPHS. So let's meet our new school board liaison now, Mr. Zahir Rob.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Zahir Rob, and as mentioned, I'll be your liaison for this year. So I've had the fortunate opportunity of just cycling off Marengo, so I'm excited to start with a new school this fall. Every fall, we try to reshuffle to get a new voice, a new perspective out to all of you. So I look forward to joining you at future meetings. Any questions you have, please know you can always direct them directly to our school board emails and reach out to us as much as possible. At each meeting, I'll do my best to provide an update as to happenings in the larger district, but obviously things that are coming up specifically for school board district-wide related matters. So it's great to be here around all these wonderful people, and it makes me proud to serve you as your school board member. And I look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Thank you. Miss Sandra Matson-Fennell, excuse me, is going to tell us about the student internship opportunities for the juniors and seniors at SPHS.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sandra Matson-Fennell, and I'm going to talk about the SPHS internship program. This program is open to juniors and seniors, and it offers a variety of internship opportunities with local business partners, such as Vet Villa, South Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, Pasadena Bio Collective, Superior Court of Los Angeles, to name a few. There's quite a few more, and they line up with the pathways that we have established for the CT pathways at our high school. In order to participate in this program, students must complete 2 workshops which cover soft skills such as professionalism, work ethic, safety on the job, resumes, cover letters, and interviewing. And these are intended to kind of get them ready to go apply for these internships. The fall workshops are coming up on Tuesday, August 31st, and Wednesday, September 1st, from 3:45 till 5:45 in rooms 917. That's the engineering room in the new building. It's below the stairs. The workshops will repeat again on January 6th and 11th, and then one more time on the 19th and the 21st at the same time and same place. So they have 3 opportunities to get those out of the way because they're a requirement for them to get an actual internship. So they have to complete the 2 workshops, and then they have to complete all of the required forms prior to starting an internship. After completing workshops and forms, the students will be provided with a current list of internship opportunities, and they must apply for their desired positions with a cover letter, a resume, and they have to be interviewed and actually hired by the participating business partner in order to have the internship added to their schedule as an 8th period course. Students must successfully complete 60 hours in their internship and complete any other required assignments and hour checks in order to receive the 5 credits. This is a pass-fail course. To learn more about the SPHS program, you can check out our website link. You can go directly to SPHSinternships.weebly.com, or on the high school website under academics, there's an actual link there as well. You can get a more extensive list of all the partners that we have, as well as all the forms they need to fill out. And we'll be sending you a reminder through Naviance with more details. And if anyone out there has a business that would like to host interns, we'd love to hear from you as well. So the contact info is on the website, and check it out if you have a chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So SPHS very much values mental health and well-being. So we're going to speak with Ms. Natasha Prime, our school social worker, who will tell us more about mental health resources for parents and students.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Natasha Prime, and as introduced, I'm the school social worker, but I am a part of the Train Your Brain Wellness team, which we have a great team this year of several people who can assist with resources. So if your student is struggling with anything or you're concerned about how they're doing, your first step would be to contact your student's school counselor, who will meet with your student and check in with them. And if there's kind of a higher level of social emotional support needed, then the counselor will refer to me, and I will meet with them and we'll triage. We are partnering with a couple community agencies as well. And so we're here to support your students as part of the counseling team, part of the whole school team. I think one of the key things that keeps getting said is it's very important for your student to find 2 or 3 adults that they can connect with on campus. That might be a teacher, it might be custodian, it could be a counselor. So it's not just the counseling team, whoever they feel comfortable with. We're also hoping to do more preventive work this year and doing some push-in workshops, particularly in the freshman study halls. We have something planned for October, which is Bullying Prevention Month. And lastly, there's also caresolace.com, which is an organization that SPUSD has partnered with. And so if you are in need of help finding outside resources and perhaps you want to go directly through Care Solace without the school, you can contact them and they can help figure out if your insurance matches any providers. They also have people who speak lots of different languages. So that's a good place for parents to turn also. And I guess that's it. Thanks for being here and see ya.
Thank you, Ms. Prime. So now we're ready for questions. The panel is finished. So we're going to let Miss Kristen take over and start the questions. Kristen?
Great. Thank you so much, Jenny. And thank you all for speaking. Great information. I'm so glad you're all here. We're going to definitely end this by 8:30. So I'm going to try and speed through the questions that we have. If we have any left over at the end, I'll make sure they get to the right person and hopefully we'll get the answers out in our PTA newsletter, or Mr. Eldred will get them out. We'll figure out a way to get answers to you guys. The first questions I'm going to ask are ones that we got ahead of time. You can also look, if you are a participant, in the Q&A, some questions have already been answered. So you should be able to click on the Q&A and see some that have already been answered. I'm not going to go through those again since they have been answered. If you have any follow-up questions for anybody of the people who asked those questions, please just ask another question. I'll try and get to as many as I can. So Mr. Eldred, I'm going to start with you. We had a question about heavy backpacks. I know some students are carrying their books back and forth. Right. And with the Chromebooks and the backpacks, their parents feel like they're just going to have major back problems by the end of the year. And they're wondering if there's any way to solve this.
Yeah, this is a tough one because, students have a lot of things that, these days that they're carrying around besides books, water bottles, sports equipment, etc. I know that there are textbooks in classrooms that students can utilize. I don't know if that helps lighten the load for some of our kids, but it should. It's kind of tough because we're trying to minimize the number of visitors on a campus as much as possible because of COVID precautions, and I'm urging parents to send their students to school with everything that they need for the day: food, water bottle, sports equipment, books, Chromebooks, charged, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not really sure how we go about, mitigating that, other than making sure that students have the books that they need in each classroom. Like I said, they should be there. So students should be able to leave books at home to lighten their load.
Can I also mention study halls? If a kid's in study hall, we do have class sets of textbooks, not class sets, we have copies of textbooks in our library as well. So if they are in study hall and it's on an even day and they need to do work for an odd day, they could always go to the library and get one of those textbooks as well. And also communicate with your teachers, find out when the days you're going to need the books are and when the days you are not going to need the books.
If I could add, since we are on the block schedule, the students some days may only have 2 classes or maybe only 3 classes. So they're not carrying all their books every day. They could just bring the 2 books they need that day.
I think honestly, it's a learning curve that our younger students have as far as carrying books, because our older students, from what I can see, they've got it kind of figured out, their schedule. And so like Janet said, they're carrying the books that they absolutely need for that day. So I think it's more than anything of students sort of getting used to their schedule and really only bringing what they need for that day instead of bringing everything that they own.
Great, thank you so much. One parent asked if there were parent-teacher meetings in high school, but I think not, right?
Parent-teacher meetings, such as if a parent needs to meet with a teacher?
I think in middle school, they do like the parent-teacher conferences.
Oh,
And
no,
so-
nothing like that in high school. But if they ever want to sit down with a teacher, they certainly can, you know, I mean, if anything, Zooms can be scheduled or a phone call or email. There's multiple ways to get a hold of teachers if parents have concerns and they'd like to meet with a teacher. That's easy.
Great. A question about the PSAT. We're just curious why it's not offered during a school day on the calendar for SPHS. It's on October 13th. And I know other school districts do sometimes do it during the school day so that all students can attend easily. Is there a reason we don't do it on a school day and we do it on a Saturday?
Sure. Well, most of a lot of the schools that do it during the week are schools where the entire junior class takes it and the school pays for them to take the test. Our district does not have the funds to pay for all the students to take it. So in order to not disrupt the schedule for school, we offer it on the weekend. And then the students that want to take the test can. We start with juniors. So juniors will have the first chance to sign up. They'll have, I think it's 3 or 4 days to sign up before we open it up to other grades. So if you do have a junior child and you want them to take the test, make sure you sign up right at the beginning. But that's the reason we have it on Saturday.
Great, thank you. I'm not sure you can answer this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Can you tell us what percentage of students are vaccinated and the percentage of teachers and staff that are vaccinated?
We don't have, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have that information. I don't know really if we can ask students this particular question. I know that we are currently surveying our staff to get an idea of who is vaccinated and who is not. And you know, if they're not, then they're going to have to be, you know, as we know, in coming October, they're going to have to be tested on a weekly basis. But even then, I don't know if we'll be releasing those numbers. So yeah, it's kind of a tough one. We walk a fine line between, you know, giving people information that they, you know, want to have as parents and still respecting the privacy of students and adults on campus.
Great, thank you. Sounds like great introductions are happening for freshmen. Should older students who are new this year do anything to connect to the administrators, especially those 10th graders that weren't there last year?
Yeah, come up and talk to us. We're friendly people. Janet, David, and myself, we love kids. We love what we do. Absolutely. Just run up and say hello. We love talking to kids at any point, brunch, lunch, during class time. If, you know, there's downtime and we can get in there and interact with them. Absolutely. They should, you know, introduce themselves and we would love to get to know them.
Great. Can you explain late start? This is, we're just worried, just don't understand it completely. And does it apply to 0 period classes?
I can answer that one. Late start is usually every other week and it's on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. And the students come to school, it's about an hour later. If you do have a 0 period, it doesn't apply to 0 period. 0 period is still at the same time. Then you just have a big break before you come back for first or second period. And we use it for staff development for the teachers. 1 day a month, we have our staff meeting. And then the other 3 days, the teachers are collaborating and working on curriculum and assessments and making sure that they're all, you know, working together and on the same page.
And I'm sorry if I missed this. It does not apply to 0 period, right? They come to school same time every day. And then where do they go during that time? Do they just go to the library or just hang out for a little while? Is that?
Most kids go and get breakfast somewhere because we only have 1 0 period class and it's jazz band and it has like 14 students in it. So it doesn't really affect very many students.
Okay, great. Is the PSAT still important given that many California colleges and universities are not relying on SATs and standardized assessments for college entry, or is this to meet requirements for out-of-state colleges?
Well, the PSAT, there's many reasons for taking it, but the main reason a lot of people take it is for the national merit scholarships that are offered. And if you score a certain score in the certain percentile, then you qualify for a national merit scholarship. But there are still, I mean, this year, a lot of the schools are test optional, but in the future, we don't have any guarantee that, the private schools and out-of-state schools will be test optional. So they're continuing to offer it.
Great. Let's see, I'm going to go. What percentage of students chose to come in person? Do we have any students that are not in person this year?
We have very few students. Probably count them on one hand, if not a little bit. Yeah, like about 5 or 6 kids that are not in person. Everyone else is in person.
Okay, great. What does our child do if they need to miss a final exam? For example, the ones that are administered in December.
Well, we really hope that you don't miss the final exam.
Yeah.
Because if a student misses a final exam, we don't give early exams. So they would get an incomplete in the course, and then they would have to come back in the spring and, within 3 or 4 weeks, make up the final. So we really, really, want you all to be there we want all the kids to be there for their finals. It's really hard for the teachers also to have to make an alternate final to give to someone that missed it.
And they would have to issue the grade after the fact. So parents and kids would be waiting a while to get the final grade for the first semester. It's best to plan around the school schedule, is my advice.
Sounds good. I'm going to go to Anthony Chan now. There were a few questions I know you answered already in the Q&A. Oh, you might have just answered the last one too. But just if you could say out loud a little bit about the sports, when tryouts are, what summer's going to look like next year, if you're planning doing summer trainings again, if you've even thought about it. And somebody I know said, when will you come out with plans for when summer tryouts are? So people, and I know it seems silly, but I'm already looking at next summer too, so we can plan our next summer, because we all want to go on vacation and we want to go away for a really long time.
You and myself included. I'm looking at John over here and he's smiling. He's like thinking, when are we going to get a vacation, man? We're always here like 20 hours.
I think I ruined Anthony's vacation this year. So yeah, he definitely gets one.
Yeah, I mean, as far as summer goes, I still need to figure out my coach availability. I mean, ideally, I think we had planned to do it at the beginning of summer, pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, so we didn't do it. And then later this year we had, summer rec going, and then we got it done at the end of July. So TBD, I hope to let you guys know soon about summer. As far as winter tryouts go, I think the only ones that really need like a second tryout maybe would be boys soccer and girls soccer. I saw a question about that. I'll post it in the Tiger Bulletin. I'll put it on the website. And then of course the coaches' emails are always listed, like the directory of coaches and their emails listed on the SPHStigers.org webpage, and then athletics, and then coaching staff. So if you ever have a question, you can ask me by email or any of the coaches. And I think, was there one more question that I didn't get to?
I think that pretty much covered it all. I think it was just the tryouts in the winter. I did have another question. I'm not sure if it's you that answers this or someone else, but I'm going to ask it to you, which is somebody was interested in getting their child involved in sports medicine, and they're not sure how to find out information about how to do that.
I think that would be a class question with Mr. Zumeda. Janet?
Yeah, it was one of the courses that they could choose when they made their course selections in the spring. The classes are pretty full right now. There might be a couple spots left in it, but last week was the last week to add. But if they're interested in the sports medicine program, then in the spring when they choose their classes for next year, make sure that you pick sports medicine. And we're hoping to have an advanced sports medicine next year as well.
Someone just wrote girls swimming and water polo. I think that means when are those tryouts, I guess?
That's a great question. Right now for swimming, I don't have a coach yet. So if you guys know anybody, I know there's still 180 people in this room. If you guys know any good coaches, have them send a resume my way. As far as girls water polo goes, I'll have to post that one as well. We just got started with boys water polo with a new coach, 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna try to settle that in. But I'll do the same thing. Tiger Bulletin, athletics page.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'm going to switch to some of the questions that now are going to address some COVID things. So I'm not sure who this is going to. I'm assuming Mr. Eldred, but maybe Ms. Wichman or Mr. Speck, I'm not sure. So the first one is, what's the plan academically for students that need to quarantine because they've been close to someone with COVID? Is there distance learning? Now that there's been breakthrough cases like the notice that went out today, is there any consideration to having vaccinated individuals quarantine?
So at this point, when a student is out, we're treating it as they're out because they're sick, and they stay home until they're better. And if it means that they're quarantined for a specific reason, if they get a positive test or whatever, the idea is that they are excused. A parent would call in and excuse them like they would for any other sickness or illness, and then they have the ability to make up the work when they return. We're not offering any type of distance learning.
And then a question about regarding best COVID practice. My son's home with a sore throat. I don't want to send him back to school until he has a negative COVID test result. Do I send him to school midday as soon as the negative result comes in, or wait until the next day? Is tardy better than excused?
It depends. Does the student really want to get back to school? Then by all means, if they are negative and they're feeling good, send them to school. We'd love to see them. But I think that's a family decision. That's an individual decision. Whatever the parents and the student decide is best. But my thinking is always, just like kind of with the questions about missing finals in December. It's never a good idea to miss school if you can help it. And so if you're feeling good and you're ready to come to school, come midday. We'd love to see you.
Great. Will there be room to address learning loss and or COVID-related mental stress? It seems like the school hit the ground running.
I think I'm gonna let Natasha chime in here in a second on this one, but I think every teacher on campus is hyper aware of learning loss, and they are definitely folding in best practices in order to address that and make sure that we get kids up to speed. I'm positive for a lot of kids and parents, it probably feels like, we did hit the ground running and it's, back to business as usual. But the classrooms that I have been in personally, I have seen teachers taking their time and really trying to get students back to a place where, they're rebuilding skills and backfilling as much as they need to in order to get kids up to speed this year. But I really want Natasha to speak just a little bit, just for a moment, about some of the things that we're doing on campus in order to address social and emotional welfare.
Yeah, so I think, I agree with John that our teachers are very aware, and we're all transitioning back to school, and so everyone is well aware. I know it does seem overwhelming. I think a little bit of the excitement that happened at first when everyone came back is now settling into, oh my gosh, we have all these classes and all of this work, and it's just a matter, I think, of recognizing that. And all of our teachers are aware, our counselors are aware. We have a beefed up wellness team this year, so we have a lot more support available for our students, whether that's talking them through a moment of panic or feeling overwhelmed. And I know a lot of the teachers are also doing some mindfulness things in the classroom. If you're really concerned about your students' stress levels or mental health, please connect with your counselor who can connect with me and or the resources that are available on campus. So at the slightest sign, let us know. But we're all fully aware, and we are equipped and prepared to support our students, whether it's through an emergency or a crisis or sort of ongoing, learning them to help them cope with being back to something somewhat normal after a completely abnormal situation. So I think we are all well aware, academically as well as socially and emotionally, that our students need a little extra support this year.
Definitely. And I just wanted to add that, this is my 29th year doing high school. And I have never seen, the amount of generosity that this district is providing for our students, particularly at the high school level, in order to address these issues. We have a deep bench of people at this point that are standing by ready to help. So just let students know that whatever they need, we stand ready to help them.
Great, thank you. So we have a couple more questions that have just come in at the last minute. So I'm going to try and get through them really quickly so we can still get out of here at 8:30. If you have other questions that get submitted after this, I'll forward them to Mr. Eldred so he can hopefully address them in a email or something. Students are observing other students not adhering to face covering mandates in the classrooms. What is being done to enforce the mandate and safety precaution?
Yeah, the teacher is the first line of defense, and they need to be reinforcing that mandate. And if they need assistance, they can send them down to the administrative offices, and Mr. Speck and myself, or Ms. Wichman can address it with them. Masks are there is no other option. It is masks in the classroom, period.
Okay, and then a follow-up question on the COVID quarantine requirement. Not sure how long the quarantine period is for students who've been exposed, but the loss in learning during the quarantine could be tough for the high school level academics. Will teachers be available to help those students who have to stay at home? If not, what can the students do to possibly learn the very complex academic subjects?
Teachers are available during their conference periods. Teachers are available, before and after school, and brunch and lunch, in order to assist students and help them in whatever they have missed while they have been out. And again, they have that extended time when they are out in order to recoup and finish and complete assignments and get them turned in for full credit. Being out sick with, let's say you break a leg or you got COVID, it's all the same at this point. It's an excused absence. So students have plenty of time to make up what they've missed, and teachers are ready to help them make sure they master the material. That's the expectation.
Many of our teachers have actually digitized their curriculum and are using Google Classroom and other methods. So a lot of that would be available also, not necessarily guaranteed for every course, but if that's the practice, they could check that as well while they're gone.
And if I can, just another incentive out there to get vaccinated if you're able to do so. For those that have a vaccination, even the close contact, there is no quarantine requirement if they're asymptomatic. So that's just another way to kind of prevent any sort of learning loss or absenteeism from the classroom, is to make sure that student is vaccinated.
Great.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Two quick ones. For the COVID testing tomorrow, can my son just walk by? They don't have to have a parent with them for COVID testing, correct?
I'll take that one. So you do not need a parent with you, but he should have registered, or he or she should have registered, hopefully by Friday last week.
Okay. And if someone has PSAT questions, who should they address them to?
Janet can help them.
Okay. And then, two quick ones. My child has not been able to get lunch because the lines are long. Are we doing anything to organize it so kids can make it through the long lines?
You know what? I'll be honest. I'm out there every day when lunch starts. It moves pretty quick, actually. The first day, I will admit, it was long and it took a long time for kids to eat. But they've been moving kids through pretty quick. And there isn't just one line. There are multiple lines and multiple ways for kids to eat on campus. Inside the cafeteria, the snack line's off to the left-hand side. A lot of kids want to get in the longest line because it's the barbecue, which I totally get, I understand. But there are a lot of other venues for kids to get foods besides just the one long line, I promise you.
Great. Okay, I'm going to end with a fun one because I want to know this. Okay. Dances and football games, are we like football games because it's outside, no mask necessary? Is there a limit of how many people can go? Dances sounds like we're going to have them based on what people were saying, but is that really happening?
Yeah, football games, it's an outside event, so masks are not required. We're finding that most people are wearing masks anyways. And as far as dances go, I would love to have dances. If they're indoors, they're going to have to be masks. But our first one, I believe, is going to be outdoors. Correct me if I'm wrong, David, but I think it's outdoors, the icebreaker.
Yeah, the icebreaker dance is typically held indoors, but we made a decision some time back to go ahead and move that outdoors to make that easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
I know the kids are very excited about that. So thank you.
Yes.
That's all the questions. I'm going to pass it back to Jenny. Thanks.
All right, great. Thank you, panelists, for coming and giving us your time. And thank you, everyone. I hope to see you at the next forum.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.